Hi everybody, it's me, Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills. I am getting my tablet going here. So, pop on, say your hellos, and look, it's working. It's always a good sign when it's working. Oh, spoke too soon. There it is. Okay, so, oops, what's it doing? Sometimes this tablet of mine, I would like to throw it away, but I don't want to buy another one, so it's there. So again, hi everybody. It's me, Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills. So, oh, good belly shot there. Sometimes when I watch the replay and I see my belly sticking in, but it'll pass. It'll pass. I'm still healing. So, okay. So, just to get this part out of the way, to shop for Stampin' Up! Products, you're going to want to go to MemoryINKers.com. Email me at MemoryINKers@gmail.com. The hostess code for October 2024 is 7, P as in Paul, U as in umbrella, 9. E as in elephant, A as in apple, H as in Henry, Z as in zebra. Okay, so there is that. All right, so I do have a card for you guys today, but I think I mentioned a while back, when I originally started doing my Tuesday videos, they were literally, you note that they are called Tiny Tip Tuesdays. Well, I kind of got away from doing a tiny tip every week, and I started doing cards, but I never changed the names. So I'm in the process again of reevaluating. Maybe I'll do tiny tips on Tuesdays and add another video somewhere else, and my Saturday sips. Saturday sip is actually supposed to be stamps, ink, and paper. Got a little carried away with that too. I can't help myself. I guess I just get carried away. Anyway, so here is my tiny tip before we get into the card making. So I have had this Cherry Cobbler ink pad since Cherry Cobbler first became a color of Stampin' Ups. So it's old, and I don't like, hang on, I don't like that. Okay. I don't like having part of my body hanging in the video. That's a little better. All right. So, okay. So, anyway, I've had it for a very long time, and I went to re-ink it, and I have had my ReINKers for as long, and I've never run out of ink. But apparently I must use Cherry Cobbler a lot, because there really isn't any, like, it looks like there's some because it was laying on its side, but when you go to squirt it, it goes everywhere. So I ordered a new ink pad and a new refill, just because this ink pad is old, and it had started to get that, I'm just going to show you, because I don't know what it is. But I don't know if you guys can see it on video, but it starts to get this weird look around the edges. Hopefully that's not going to happen with this pad, but I know that some of you have talked to me about it. It's fine. It doesn't hurt anything, but I figured may as well get a new ink pad while I'm at it. So I am going to show you how to re-ink an ink pad, even though this one does not need it. So I'm going to show you on this one, and then I'm going to show you what to do when you open a pad. The other thing you might notice is on the top of my ReINKers, way back when, we used to have this thing called Crystal Effects, and I poured Crystal Effects on there and then put a little drop of the color, which let me see the color of the refill when it was in my box. Okay. Now I have them leaning like this, so it's not that important to me anymore. But anyway, so when you are re-inking, and I'm going to put down something because I know this is going to spritz, because this ink pad, this ReINKer is almost, I mean, it's empty. But anyway, what you're going to do when you re-ink, let me zoom in a little bit here. And I promise we are going to get to a card. So when you're re-inking, you're going to want to squeeze and see like nothing's coming out. But this is what you would do, is you would go just along the edges, and you're going to get a decent amount on there. Yeah, see, there's nothing. But only when you need it. But definitely be sure to get the edges of your ink pad when you're re-inking, and down in here, because when you get a new ink pad, it is generally the little pad has been soaked in ReINKer, so it should be very, very, very moist. I know that that's not always the case. So I'm going to open this up, and I love that it comes cello wrapped, so that should keep it nice and moist while you're waiting. And then you see you have all of these color pads, and I know I've showed this trick before too, but I'm going to show it again. So my take your pick tool is on the other side. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to lift up the one that says the color, Cherry Cobbler. I'm going to set my ink pad like that, and then place it on this bottom edge here. Okay, so now I can see, and I didn't place it very well. That's what happens when you do videos. They never seem to go right the way you want them to. So let me try that again. Get it closer to the bottom. That's too close. It's only because I'm on video, you guys. This is not hard when you're just sitting in your craft room and you're just doing it. But you know, you're on a live video and it likes to mess with you. So that's better. So now there's a blank one here. There's also different colors. So this one says Cherry Cobbler, which is exactly the same. So normally I would grab this one that is the solid color, but I'm going to grab this one that says Cherry Cobbler again, because why not? Because it's there and it says the same thing, right? So I'm going to open this up, new pad, and that one is going to go right here. That's where, if it doesn't have the exact name like this one happens to, there's a blank one there. But what's nice about this, when you do this, is that, I mean, sometimes you have ink pads sitting together, and look at how dark that is. That's very dark. You could be doing Cherry Cobbler with, say, a Night of Navy, and it might look like so similar. And you want to make sure that you're grabbing the right color when you're inking, right? Because sometimes we have our ink pads, you know, laid out in rows like that. So this ink pad should be nice and juicy. So I'm going to put this old one away. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put on this old tip onto my new ReINKer, because it fits and because I have that piece on there. So, all right, so that is basically how you re-ink. And when you re-ink, it's going to come out a lot smoother. I don't want to put too much on here, but hopefully you guys can see little, oh no, you can't because I wasn't in camera. Little drops will come out, okay? So I just put them right on the edge. Hopefully, and I can see it's barely, it's not even sinking in. And so when it doesn't sink in, you can take a plastic spoon or your bone folder and just press it down. If ever you've had an ink pad that's too juicy, I know we've all had that. It's so new, it's so juicy. We love juicy ink pads, at least I do. But you can use your bone folder or an old spoon, because this is going to stain. So hang on, let me grab a napkin and knock 50 things over while I do it. And I'm going to try to wipe that off. And I'll try again with some cleaner to see if that helps. I should show you guys, I have this one that I've done that with a million times. God, I'm just dropping stuff everywhere. Hold on, let me grab it. So I was cleaning some adhesive off of my million-year-old bone folder. I've had this, look at this, it came crooked. But look at how pretty that is. It almost looks marbly. Can you guys see that? It's so pretty. And it's just from, you know, ink like this and doing that with it. So I'm going to hopefully get this one nice and clean. I should have grabbed my old one, but I didn't. All right. So now I'm going to put that up here for now because we're not going to need it right away. And I'm going to show you a fun card. This isn't super new. It's not a super new idea, but I'm going to use this piece of Designer Series paper. This is from Meandering Meadows. It is an online exclusive, and it has been for a year, but it's still available. And it's a lot of really beautiful scenic backgrounds on one side, and then pretty designs on the other side. Like this one has a really nice marbled green. So this is a really good set for you to have in your craft stash. So I am going to grab my paper trimmer. And now normally I would tell you to cut this at 4 inches by 5 1/4, right? Because it's going to go on the front of my card. But not today, not today. We're going to go to 3 1/2 inches. By, I'm actually going to do, I want to get a lot of that path. So normally I would go to 5 1/4, so I'm going to go to 5 inches. Okay, so now I have this 3 1/2 by 5. Why does that not seem right? It isn't. I would go to 3 3/4. So 3 1/2 by 3 3/4. Sorry, you guys. I should have wrote it down. So now it's about a 1/2 inch difference from what I would normally have you guys cut, right? So I went from 4 inches to 3 1/2, 5 1/4 to 4 3/4. If I did that right, I did. Yay! Okay, so now I am going to cut it again, and like I said, this is at 3 1/2, so I am going to cut it at, so 3 would be, split in half would be 1 1/2, right? Well, I don't want it quite in half, so I am going to do it at 2 1/4. Okay? So now I have these pieces. Now I'm going to twist it this way because of what I'm going to do. So see, look what I'm doing. Oh, I should zoom back out a little bit. I'm sorry, you guys. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. So, so what I've done is I've cut it this way, right? Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to twist it like this. And then I am going to cut it at, I want it at, I'm thinking, this is 5, I want it at 3. So I'm cutting both pieces now, but they have been flipped. All right, hope you're following that. So now I have all 4 pieces, and I'm done with my paper trimmer. So now, when I look at my pieces, I need to flip them, right? So now, this one matches up here, like that, and then this one matches up here, like that. Does that make sense? So you can kind of see what I'm about to do. I am going to be using a basic white cardstock. Oh, I'm not using cherry cobbler, so I can put that away. So you know, when I use thick cardstock, like thick basic white, you want to score it first. So I did that ahead of time. And use your bone folder. Let me put away my cherry cobbler before I forget. And my new ReINKer. Because what I actually have is Highland Heather, which is kind of the color of the purple in the sky for this card. I think I need to zoom a little more. I don't know why I'm having trouble. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. All right, so I also have a scrap here. So I'm going to stamp a sentiment from Simply Said. This is one of my favorite new sentiments. You guys all know how I feel about sentiments. Love, love, love them. This is one of my favorites. It's got a lot of, like, you name it, you need it, you got it. So I just grabbed a scrap, and I'm hoping that this is going to be dark enough. Yes, it's perfect. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer again, because I'm trying to do everything all at one time. And, whoops, bumping everything. I'm just going to, oh, I have purple on me, and I don't want to mess that up any more than it looks like it's thinking I already did, see? So I am going to trim this off, and I'm using this side because I should have stamped it the other way. So I'm going to just eyeball it to where I think it's going to be even. And doing the same thing again. So it's going to depend on the sentiment. That looks crooked to me, but we'll see. We'll see when I'm done. I'm going to trim it just a little bit more. Just a little bit. And hope that I don't have a problem. All right, that's good. That's good. It was a little tighter than I expected, but hey, that's what happens when you cut and then cut again and then cut again. That's just what happens. I think I'm going to flip it over. Please, somebody comment and say, oh, that happens to me all the time, Carrie. Yes, please, 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 please. So, all right, that's a little better. Now I kind of got it in the center of where I want it. So now what I'm going to do is, I have a little bit of an edge on this now because of the way it's backwards from, you know, the cut. You know, when you cut, it kind of makes a little dent. So I'm just using my thumbnail to smooth that out. It's really on the two sides, I think. And then I'm going to take my blending brush, and I'm just going to give it a slight edge to it with the same color, just to be fun. Sometimes I really like dirtying up a card. I don't know, you know, sometimes I want them super clean design. And sometimes I want them to look like I've rolled over them with my chair. Don't laugh, it's happened, and I've still turned them into a card. All right, so I'm going to do that to all of these edges too. I'm going to get them all the way I want them. And it's very subtle. I don't even know if you guys can see how subtle it is on there. It just gives it a little bit of an edge without having to matte your designer series paper, which would also look good too. But that's math, and I didn't want to do math. so there. All right, so now I've got that one done. Now I can do all the other ones. So since I'm doing something that requires me to make noise and talk boring things, how about you guys comment and tell me what is going on in your life? Here, the weather has changed. It's quite cold. It went from the 70s to, I think it's in the upper 40s today. And my son's job, he works outside all year long. So bless his heart. So I know when he left this morning, he was like thermal underwear and long pants. But it's Michigan, so he's going to get 70s back again. I think, I don't remember when. I looked on my weather app, and I didn't see it for a few days, but I swear on the news this morning, the weather guy said it was going to be in the next couple of days, but one of them is not telling the truth. And let's be honest, whatever the weather is in 5 minutes here in Michigan, and I know a lot of other states say this too, it could be absolutely opposite of what they just told us it was going to be. So All right, so now everything has been matted very subtle. So now I have to decide, do I want to do something on the inside? And I kind of think I do. I kind of think I want to put some of this on the inside of my card, but not this thick. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer again. Oh, didn't realize I left all that in there. Boy, that's really sticking. Guess I'm going to have to clean up my paper trimmer. And I like this tree, but I guess I don't care if I don't see all of it. So I'm just going to do 1 inch, I think. All right, so now I have to decide. I kind of like seeing these flowers down here, so I think I'm going to trim it off up here. But you know what? I'm going to do it after, because then I can make it the full length and I don't have to worry about it. So this is my other little tip for you guys today. I kind of, when I'm going to put glue on something and I know I'm going to cut it, I like to line it up and then start down here where I know I'm going to cut. So I don't have too much adhesive on the cut line and goop up my scissors. I'm not telling you that it won't happen. It may. And of course, I could have put this on the outer edge. Probably would have made it easier to trim. And really, if I wanted to, I could trim again and put that on. But no, we're not doing that today. So I'm just going to take this now and snip it off. And now we have a pretty inside for you that's going to match your pretty outside. All right. You know how I feel about cards that keep opening. I have to like smash them down. It's bugging me. All right. So now here's where the fun comes in. We are going to put these pieces on the card front and we're going to space them so that it just looks so pretty. And sometimes it looks bigger with a bigger sentiment, but I really liked this scene, so I didn't want to do a bigger sentiment. So here's what we're doing. Eyeballing, completely eyeballing. If you are a perfectionist, feel free to get your pencil out and your ruler and make little tick marks. But that would tick me off to do that. I'm just a fly by the seat of your pants kind of girl, apparently. Alrighty. So just if you live near the Farmington Hills area and you or you know someone who may be in need of some winter apparel, my church does every year. They do this clothing drive where our church collects clothes and then they ship it in like huge bundles. I'm not kidding you. They're like pallets and pallets and pallets of clothes. And they are shrink wrapped, so they're going to be wrinkly. But the church is in Farmington Hills on 13 Mile, just between, I always have to think about this. I'm just going to say it is north, south, west of Orchard Lake. And tomorrow, and I think later on in the day today, what's today? Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm getting these dates so confused and they're going to kill me if I send you guys over. Saturday, go Saturday. And it's free. There will be, coats and clothes and shoes. And if you or someone you know is in need, please go, because that's what it's there for. It is for charity. So now I made a big space here. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I'm trying to decide if I want to do something weird with that. It's cool, but I don't want to mess up that picture. I just really like it. But look, I can do this. Look at that. So I'm going to mat this. I'm going to mat this one. I forgot I stamped on the other side. I'm like, what happened here? So this one I'm going to just eyeball. I'm not going to get my paper trimmer out. And this is just the back of the paper. So, and look at how conveniently that worked. Oh my gosh, it's like the perfect size. I love when that happens. Happy little accidents, right? Now, if I can get my paper and me to agree on a cutting, then it's all good. This is why I like liquid glue. Wiggle it around. Is it perfect? Of course not. Who is your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator? Okay. And then I'm just going to put this up on dimensionals. Like so. And I did grab some gems. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use them, but I grabbed them because, you know, this is a super simple card. So let's see what we can do. And I am going to put this right there, I think. So I like it. I think it's good, but I like bling also. And this bling seems to match pretty good. At least these two bottom colors do. This is the adhesive backed pearl trio. And it is from the Thoughtful Journey suite, so that helps, right? So I think I'm going to use the purple and the blue because I can, right? See, look at how pretty that is. Yeah, I do like that. So simple, 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 simple. So there you go, you guys. Just a super simple card along with a couple of tiny tips for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this. Here's a little close-up of the card. Super simple. Now mine are wide. You can make yours thinner, and mine are quite crooked, as I can see. But it's me, and you know how I feel about perfection. All right, you guys, have a blessed and wonderful week. I hope you're all staying warm, and I will talk to you again on Saturday. Bye.